Pew 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 pew. It's just so exciting. In 10 days, we were able to hit the goal, and we have now surpassed the goal. So as I said in my original launch video, anything beyond the goal basically just goes towards the next comic book that I hope to produce. At the time of recording this video, we still have like 20 days left on the Kickstarter, so you're obviously going to get your comic, but you are also just supporting getting the next comic going, and hopefully it's not a 2-year ordeal to make this happen now, because so to launch the Kickstarter, I just built everything in Adobe Express. I use Adobe Express so much, and not sponsored or anything. This is just literally how I use Adobe Express. What I ended up doing was I started a project and had all of the assets that I wanted to build for the Kickstarter in that project. And a lot of it was just rooted in building it based on the amazing cover art that I commissioned. And so using the cover art as the backdrop, using the cover art for the color palette of it all as well, and then just like enhancing on that. So if you go to the Kickstarter page, you'll notice that on there, I tell the story of how this project came to be, and also the video reinforces that story. But you can also read through the writing and everything. I use different graphical elements that I've designed myself all inside Adobe Express. So for the little chapter markers, for example, it was really simple. I just made sure to kind of look at other people's Kickstarters and see, oh, okay, this is like more or less what the dimensions are of what I would want these chapters to be. I kind of settled on the dimensions of around, I think it's like 600 long by 175 tall, something like that. And then from there, I used a gradient feature that's inside Adobe Express to create a gradient color based on the original cover art that was designed. So from there, I just had to go from like that sort of red of the cover art all the way over to like the purplish green of the cover art. Then I went into the Elements tab on Adobe Express, and from there, I found just different smoke textures that I could use, different smoke textures and different like just textures. I just searched textures and tried out different things until I found the texture that felt just like right. And I layered stuff, I definitely took my time just like layering things, trying things to see what worked before finally typing out the text to signify the chapter that I was talking about. And from there, it was just a matter of like, duplicate it, rinse and repeat, type all the chapters out that I needed, export them out, add them in. And then also the same idea behind doing everyone's artist bio that I had in the story section as well. It was at the behest of Akira, the editor, who told me that I should definitely, in the perks section, make some sort of visual to go along with that so people really understand what the perks are and how they work. And so again, hopping into Adobe Express to do that, found a little template button design that I liked. Switching out the colors, I had blue represent everything digital. I had like a sort of yellow tan color represent everything physical. And then purple was like the combo of the two. And then once again, searching in the icons of Adobe Express to find a PDF icon, a JPEG icon, as well as a printing icon. So just really enforcing what each perk is and what the price is for each perk. So again, all the collateral I designed to promote this Kickstarter campaign, I built it all in Adobe Express. I want to say it maybe took an hour to like think through everything I knew I needed, have my principal design in Adobe Express, and then like copy paste and like make the necessary adjustment. And of course, if you watch me here, Instagram, TikTok, if you're on my newsletter, etc., you've seen some variations come out as I've been promoting the launch of the Kickstarter for the entire 10 days that it's been running. Now that we hit our goal and like we can move forward, I'll calm down with the promotion of the Kickstarter. But you always, when you are starting a campaign like this, you do in your mind think like literally every other day, I need to be talking about the project I'm working on. I need to be intense about it. And not because I'm trying to bombard you with stuff, but because this is just what it This is like what sales is. You have to talk about what you're working on multiple times because people don't pay attention. And now the next steps are pretty simple. You know, obviously the campaign is still technically ongoing. It's ongoing as of recording this video. I think we're on day 21. Yeah, we still have 21 days to go. It's going to keep running. So if any of you watching this are still interested in getting your copy of the comic book, again, the original form of the Kickstarter was for it to be essentially pre-sale of finishing the comic. So just know that if you're joining the Kickstarter now, it's happening because like we've hit our goal, so you'll get your comic book. But the next steps for me now are securing Our Colorist, which I had already been working with someone and trying to lock in their rate and everything before starting the Kickstarter. But now that the funds are secured, I can reach back out to them officially and be like, hey, it was a success. You still good? We still ready to get it going, get it hopping, get it popping? Let's go, you know? Let's get this contract. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So reach out to them, get that going. Once I've secured them, I'll introduce y'all to them probably via the Kickstarter, and we'll just get it right, get it tight, because they can start working because I know the funds are coming. Yeah, bro. I'm just so excited. Thank you again. Thank you so much. I cannot stress enough how thankful I am. Thank you. It's been really heartening to see that like we hit the goal in 10 days. When you launch a campaign, you're mentally prepared to just to weather it for 30 days, you know what I'm saying? Or just weather it for how long your campaign lasts. And so when you hit the goal and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't have to keep bombarding you with stuff about this, it's really nice. So thank you so much. And I will be back with another update soon. If you're randomly seeing this, hi, I'm Halise, filmmaker, storyteller, indie comic book publisher. And on this channel, I document my chaotic good life. Subscribe, follow, social media, all of the things. Yeah, toodles, y'all.